I particularly like this indicator, the swing highs and the swing lows, right? Because it also gives me, it serves me patterns actually on a platter. Now this one alludes to a very popular pattern that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. Now if I just get on over to the trading view chart right here, I'm currently on my weekly time frame. Okay, now just with what we know in terms of that that overall structure, right? We had that downtrend, and then now we're threatening to break that trend to the upside. This is what it's basically telling me, that if I just look at this sort of bird's eye view, and I smack in some lines on my chart, some diagonals, right? Connect the dots, connect the points right there. The more points we have, the stronger the pattern gets, right? Now, what am I seeing here, Sean?
Falling channel.
Exactly. Now, falling channel, guys, the way it's drawn out, the way a falling channel is drawn out is that it's basically horizontal lines running parallel to each other. Okay, that was very different from the wedge that we explained to you guys just yesterday. So, and the more points you have, the stronger that pattern gets. However, what makes this one pretty special is the fact that I'm noticing a bit of a break here. Now we saw a bit of a break here, and that's when price actually got all the way up to that next higher high that we put in. That was what set the new structure, right? That was the break in the structure. And usually the thing with channels is that it, what I really like about channels, right, and even falling wedges, is that it lets you know whether or not you're good to go in terms of riding your profits, right? And when you see that break, it's basically telling you to be a bit prudent if you were someone sitting in a short position on AVAX. All right.
Yep.
So that's something that you guys got to note. Now, this was that tell that, hey, perhaps now prudence is going to be necessary here if you are someone sitting in a short position. And that's why I really like channels. It basically gives you that trend on a platter, and it tells you when it's time to be a bit cautious. Okay, but this is how it goes. Now, I don't give too much importance to the volume that comes in on the break. So that's something to note. Sometimes it's a hit or a miss. But I'm seeing a break here. Now, the way I'm going to be looking at this is that I do believe this has further upside to go if price on the weekly time frame can close over $79.71. Where would the measured move take us to? Well, let's go ahead and draw out the measured move. Now, I would usually draw out the measured move by taking the point from the top parallel line to the bottom, and then taking that line and plotting it on the break. And where does that take us up to?
New highs.
New highs at 151. Basically getting up to the previous, almost there, right? The previous highs right there. And I can go ahead and smack a horizontal on that. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for. Now, for this pattern to get negated, I'll be looking for price to break this diagonal to the downside, coming in at $73.43. What I especially like about this, Sean, is that if I go ahead and put on my cloud, okay, we're breaking the 21 EMA, the 10 SMA, as well as the Kijun on that break, as well as that major horizontal that we're looking at.
So at the moment, it looks like we're retesting the diagonal, right? The upper trend line of the falling channel. Now, what I would like to do, as someone who doesn't trade patterns primarily, but I do use patterns to visualize my trends, right? It's a really good way, guys, to start off with your trend trading, because your patterns allow you to see that, hey, wait a minute, we have broken out of the falling channel. But what has it done really? It has really essentially initiated a break of the downtrend that Krisha showed you so beautifully on the mango view, right? When we pulled out those swing lows and swing highs, we put in a higher high. Now you guys can see that on the pattern. Now we are retesting the pattern after putting in that higher high, essentially hunting for that high low, and it could very well be now on this falling channel that we're testing, the upper trend line of the falling channel. And I'm seeing a big smile on Krisha's face over here as she nods along. Now we're retesting this. So how do you go ahead and play this? You guys can include multiple concepts over here, guys. Use your horizontals. In the C program, you can use the concept that I teach called trading the wink, the combination of the horizontal over here as well as your upper trend line, and you can have an invalidation point on the horizontal line to basically set your biases straight. Because remember, guys, trend lines can be a little bit finicky to play with, right? And now you have confirmation essentially saying that, wait a minute, I'm going to be buying the trend line, right, using this as a buy opportunity, but I am going to feel a bit antsy about my position if we don't close above this horizontal. right? So you want to be waiting for the market to also be looking to bid this up and treat this as a high low, confirm this above this potential weird looking ascending triangle within the pattern that we see over here, this horizontal that you guys can see that was rejected for multiple weeks. We finally claimed it, correct? Well, can the bulls defend it now?
If, however, we break this to the downside and we close a weekly candle below that $80 region, I'm saying likely going to break back into the pattern, at which point, guys, that pattern gets negated. That is something that you need to note. A pattern doesn't just stay a pattern. If it gets negated, you call it and you move on, okay? Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, do smash the like button, and if you want to keep up with the latest manga juice, hit the subscribe as well as the bell icon, that way you are notified every time we're out. And with this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.
Ciao.